Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm just kind of wanted to talk something that, it's kind of like the idea of this channel. It's like the name of my channel leads to this idea. It's kind of like the idea that I strive to be. It's Ataraxia, which is a serene sense of calmness. It's kind of like something I try to follow every day of my life, and I just want to talk about things that I kind of do to kind of leads me to that. And first, I kind of just want to start with a story. There's a guy way back when, an ancient Greek guy named Pyro. He was a soldier in Alexander the Great's army. And, as being a soldier, probably it's very stressful, probably has a lot to do. It's said that he even went as far as India, when they were going around conquering all that type part of the world and stuff. When he returned, he began teaching about his idea on things, on how he kind of remains stress free in life. He would look at things, if they're not good, bad, true, or false, he would just take that there was a level of uncertainty involved in things. Like, we don't know the full story. There's so many things in our lives that, you see on the news, doomsday this, the economy's failing, all these kind of things, and it can be stressful. It affects your life. But at the end of the day, you kind of just have to take a step back and realize, do you have the full control over something like that, the politicians do, or anybody, right? If you wake up the next day, is it going to change the fact that the economy is going to fail or whatever? Just take a step back. And then you have to realize that there's this uncertainty there. And after you realize that uncertainty, just realize, like, does it truly affect your life in the way that you think it does? Like, if you kind of just let it happen, I guess, like, just, it's going to happen regardless is what I'm trying to say. So he talked about this suspension of judgment, rather than insisting that the cause of all these things and that you need to think about it all the time. Just acknowledge uncertainty and then just kind of just to step back, and just let it happen, kind of. It's this, like, freedom of unnecessary thinking. Like, just focus on what's going on in your life, your day to day, and it's always nice to have, if you have, like, a big goal in your life, like you want to change this or that in life. But first, you got to get your life in order, your mind straight first, in my opinion. And it's something that I try to do in my life. And, looking at Pyro's story, how, like, he, everyone thinks Sparta is, like, the meanest, baddest warriors of them all, but he came back and he taught about these teachings, like how he just kind of was calm and serene. And I think that in and of itself is something that, you should strive for. And it leads to this term ataraxia. It's a state of mental tranquility and freedom, of complete serene calmness. And because of this calmness, just imagine, like, waking up the next day and just thinking, like, the only thoughts that can really affect your mood, affect the way you think, affect how your day's gone, bad, shitty, all that kind of jazz, is what you make of it, right? It's not because, your life is perfect by any means, right? Like, you probably still have bills, if, your significant other, they said something mean to you or whatever, people can affect you. But it's the idea that you can just take it in your head and, like, just let it sit there for a second. Like, don't just outburst emotion. Just think about it and be like, is it really worth getting mad over? Is it really worth putting my time and effort into such a response? And sometimes it is worth it, right? But even just the fact that you took a step back and thought about it and took some time to think, it really, like, changes your perspective on it, in my opinion. It's like, instead of just letting emotions control you, you control your emotions. Like, that's the whole point of this, is you can remain calm in way more situations than you think, because you control the emotions, not the other way around. And it's not like you're gonna even I'm not saying I'm perfect with it. Nobody is, right? It's not gonna be 100% all the time, but the more you work at it, the closer you get to it. And it's like your problems are still there, but somewhere along the way you learn to meet that without being controlled by the uncertainty, the chaos, the unknown, the emotions of it. You kind of just let it happen, you know, like. And like nowadays, right, like it's worse than it ever has been, you know, like you have a phone next to you and it's connected. Your boss could call you at any time, you know, your mom can call, like anybody can call you and tell you bad news. You know, you pull up your phone, you see the world is ending. It's just like constant anxiety, fear mongering, just, oh, the world sucks, everyone hates each other, all that kind of jazz. And that wasn't a thing back in the day, but somehow these people back then still had the same problem as us, and they were trying to find answers for it. That's why Stoicism and all these different philosophies are out there, because, you know, we have the same problems as they did back then. And then, like, I'm no philosophy major by any means, but, you know, maybe they were onto something a little bit, you know. And we're told that, like, you know, all our happiness is always on something that we make. You know, it's like you make $100,000, you do this, you do that. It's like your worth is measured by what you produce, not by, you know, all this. And it adds all this stress. But if you can just take a step back and realize it's all in your head, pretty much, it can give you a little bit of sense of calmness. And it seems stupid at first, but I guarantee if you do it enough, and that's what I try to do every day, because there's so many things that make me mad in the day, but just take a step back and just kind of let it happen and let it brush you by and realize it's not the end of the world. Like, go back to the Pyro story. There are stories that he would talk about where he would imagine the worst case scenario, right? So like you walk into the room, what is the worst case scenario? And then he asked himself, would I live this situation? Would I still be alive? Will my life change drastically after this? And almost every time, no matter what you can think of, you could probably survive it. You know, it's like you go ask out your crush or you do whatever, you know, no matter what happens, it's not gonna end your life over it. You know, it's like you just keep on going. And then it's like the idea of the ataraxia. It's like, it's without disturbance, you know, it's just let this psychological turmoil just exit your body a little bit. And, you know, just keep going. And I kind of want to just add some like actionable steps that you could maybe take in your life that I try to do myself to lead me towards this ataraxia, this sense of calmness that I try to achieve, because ultimately I feel like it just makes my life so much better when I can just, you know, count your blessings and continue, right? First thing you can do is like separate what you control from what you can't. You know, I was talking about it earlier. There's so many things that you have no functional control over. The economy, your past, you know, the way someone else thinks. You have no control over that, whether you think you do or not. At the end of the day, it's uncertain. It's not knowable. But there's one thing that is certain. It's how you react to it. If you just let your body natural functions react to it, it's going to end bad a lot of the times, you know? Not that you should discount your natural feelings, but like I said, just take some time and think about it and then continue. That's what I try to do every time something ticks me off. And then another thing you could do is like look at your desires and find if they're really necessary for you. You know, do I really, really need these things that I desire so much to live a functional life, you know? The more you declutter your mind of things that are unnecessary, it's easier to continue to live this calmness, this stressfulness, you know, let it go. And there's so many desires, like we all have desires, and a lot of them aren't inherently bad by any means, but I mean, I'm pretty sure all of you know, like, I have something that I shouldn't be doing, or like, it's not something that I want to get rid of this desire, but it just keeps nagging it, coming back. And it's okay. But the first step is acknowledging it. So you just kind of find those things and you slowly try to pick at them away from your life. Just slowly take them away. And then another step that I like to do is, it's okay if you don't know something, right? It's okay that you're not going to know the outcome sometimes. Like, you get your gift for your significant other, or you have something planned, or you don't know how someone's going to take something. It's okay that happens. It's like not a fault of you didn't have to know everything. It it's not something that should be expected of you, and you shouldn't expect that from yourself. But that's normally who we expect it. Like, I should have known this was going to happen kind of mentality. Just be okay with if things don't work out. Like I said, you just have to take it as it is, because there's so many factors that you can never see. Everything has millions and millions of factors going into it of why that outcome happened, and you can try to, and it's good to plan for as many as you can, but at the end of the day, it's gonna happen one way whether you like it or not sometimes, and just kind of accept some things that happen. Another step I like to do is, like, don't let your mind be overstimulated with every copious amounts of things going on, because you're always watching a YouTube video, you're always watching TikTok or whatever, which is something I want to talk about in another video, is like the short-term content kind of craze of the world that just feels like destroying people. But stuff like that, just that mental stimulation, just slowly, like, it wears your mind down, and it lets your emotions take over because your mind's just like exhausted, and your mind is only good at focusing on certain things, right? Yeah, everyone, like, how hard multitasking is. You just gotta, like, declutter it, just let it kind of have some zen involved. And the way I do this is, like, I just take some time in my day and I just kind of do nothing, almost like 5 minutes, whether it's just me sitting thinking in my head, just letting thoughts go by. Like, don't force thoughts in or out of your head, just kind of let it simmer a little bit, and just kind of just take a chill pill, kind of. Maybe, I don't know, it's just so many ways you could do it. But that's what I like to do, is just kind of sit there. It looks like I'm staring at a wall. It kind of looks creepy if you think about it, but for me it works. It's just like, wow, just declutter, de-stress, nothing going on. And then another thing I do is just, like, reflect on the reasons why you get mad, right? Because it's one thing I can sit you and say, just don't get mad, right? And that just doesn't work. I get mad too. It's not like I'm perfect. But when you're done being mad, once you kind of chill out, just look at what made you so angry, upset, sad, all these things. Just kind of, like, sometimes it's obvious, right? But it's sometimes more deep than that, right? Like, someone said something that's awful to you. Sure, it's gonna make you upset, but sometimes it's like you're longing for an acceptance of someone else, kind of stuff like that. Like, look a little bit deeper and try to look at those problems. I'm no psychologist or anything, so I can't help you fix those problems, but at least, like, acknowledging the problems is the start of any solution, right? You just gotta know. And then another final thing is just take stock in the ordinary things in your life that bring you joy. Like, simple things like, oh, I woke up and I had a nice glass of water, like nice cold iced water. Like, just enjoy those little things, because those little things, like, they make you happy, but you, like, kind of, like, look at them like it's just for granted almost. Like, drinking that iced glass of water could have been warm, but it's so much better to drink it cold. It makes you happy. Look at those things like, wow, I'm happy because I did this. Those little happinesses add up. Just don't discount them because, oh, it wasn't that new fancy car I got, or I bought a house or whatever. Those things make you really happy, but those little things, they add up. And the more you think about happiness, the less you'll be sad, right? And that's just little things I do in my day that makes me so much more calm. And, like, you ask a lot of my friends, they're like, damn, you never get mad at anything. And it's like, well, that's not true. I get mad at a lot of things, but I don't show it like that because I'm trying to master my mind in the sense that I have that calmness on me at all times, because it just makes me feel so de-stressed, so much better. I don't have anxiety through the roof. I'm not saying it's going to fix your anxiety, but these little steps, these little actionable steps you can take, maybe it can help you going from, like, a really bad day where you're just like, I can't take it, I just need to go to bed, all that stuff, to, like, okay, today sucked, but, you know, at least have some ice cream at home or something, you know, like these little things that just add up. Anyways, I've been rambling for a while, and I hope you like this video, and just make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and yeah, thanks for listening.